because this really has been a partnership in Gage County. We have about 23,000 in the county, and Beatrice has half of that population, and a number of small communities, Wymore, Blue Springs included in that. And I'm from down that way. I'm about 10 miles from Beatrice, and that's my hometown. And so this kind of came along at a good time. I'm within a year of being in my position, so it's new, and I kind of looked at the discovery tool and the work that we've done as a needs assessment, kind of informing us on what we need to do. And Laura's you were 6 months ahead of me or so. Yeah. So, and she's new to the community, and Gage County is my home county. So, we had about 500 surveys returned. We thought we did a lot of work on marketing. I really had hoped that'd be 1,000 or so, but 500 is not too bad. I want to speak just a little bit about the Wymore Blue Springs thing too, is that, part of my job is to go around to the different, villages and towns. And I happened to be at a meeting down in Wymore, and they said, we need to have some economic development, things here. We need to have a committee here. So it worked out. Again, timing was very good with this. I said, well, hey, one of the things we can find out is what is the community really thinking. And so we had a really strong group of people there that took the survey around the community. So of those 500 and some, over 100 of them were just from that Wymore Blue Springs area. And so that was good. And that there's been a group there meeting, and as far as things that have happened, last night they voted to become affiliated with Nebraska Community Foundation and start a community foundation there to do community betterment projects and so on. So we have a really strong group, and it's kind of gone hand in hand with the whole ECAP process. And then what it's also done for me is provided some good talking points as I go out and talk to the other village boards around the county and so on. So then in Beatrice, we've had a really strong partnership with the Beatrice Chamber and also Main Street. Michael with Main Street couldn't be with us today, but the three of us really started down this pathway. Do you want to talk a little bit about Beatrice?
One of the things that we had been working on is creating more of a unity in the community. When I arrived in Beatrice, we were pretty fractured. And this has helped solidify some of that, bring together the city and the school district and, of course, Main Street and Gage and the chamber and the other entities that are coming in. We've also, in Beatrice, kind of paralleling this process, are doing a branding process. And so we're gonna take that branding as one of our first wins that come out of ECAP. And so there were two separate things happening at the same time. What we found was the issues were the same, which was actually really exciting. That two separate processes showed some of the same issues, and one of them was sense of place. That was one of them was leadership, and we can touch on everything up here. But we're going to be launching a new brand here soon, which we're going to also claim as an ECAP win. So we can show it because it showed a lot of things. I think a lot of the things we received was not a surprise to all of us, but it helps give us some meat to go out and then work on those processes.
I really like the fact with our ECAP is that we were looking at the community characteristics, as we see up here, but we were also able to ask those additional questions of our community. So like housing was a topic as I was talking to business and industry, and they, why aren't some of their people living here? Well, they ran into housing issues. So we're doing a housing study. So that confirmed that. So really the information that we received back really did help confirm a lot of the things that we were working on. As far as somebody mentioned like lists, we have about, in Beatrice, I'd be curious, not all of you talked about that, but how many folks really were on your groups that met or that are meeting ongoing. We've had about 35 to 40 on our Beatrice list. I would say 25 to 30, and each time we've met, we've had new people show up, so that's exciting. Of course, some people can't always make those meetings and so on. In Wymore alone, we have probably a list of 35. And I was at a meeting last night, and there was over 20 some there. And so again, we have new people that show up at that all the time. So we really are getting people on board, and it's really exciting, I think. I would say, it's strong. I'd also like to know about what you did when, like, sense of place came up as the high ranking was really ours. And what the interesting thing with that is the discovery tool showed that we had a fairly decent ranking with that. But as we went through and prioritized, that came up as we want to work more on that. And a lot of it has to do with sort of downtown revitalization work, making the community look more modern and that. So again, Beatrice has a strong, I say, sense of place. You look at the homestead. We do, the chamber does you do the Visitors Bureau and the chamber do the homestead days. So I think there's that heritage thing that's there, but they still want to see more done with, improving our overall look and feel. Anything else?
And we're bringing together the group next week to do our action stuff.
Yeah.
So we're not there yet, so we're almost there.